What's up, YouTube? My name's David, and I'm back with another Call of Duty video. So, just a little backstory. I've been playing a lot of Call of Duty. I've actually probably played for close to 35 hours on Black Ops, or not hours, 35 days on Black Ops 3, which is a lot of time. But, so normally, like, we'll go back to Advanced Warfare, probably. So in Advanced Warfare, I never used the BO3, which was the most dominant AR. I didn't really use an AR in general. I'd only use the ASM-1. I've only used SMGs. And it's been kind of the same in Black Ops 3 for most of the time. I would only use a VMP. The Vesper, and that was good. Never used the M8 or Man of War or any of that. But recently, I realized that as we were playing QMGs, that my team lacked in AR, because every one of us was SMG. So in other AR-heavy maps like Redwood and Fringe, we'd pretty much just get blown out of the water, right? So what I did was I dedicated my time to only using ARs and trying to get better with that so that I could just be the main AR in my team. And over the time, I feel like I've gotten very, very good with the M8 to where it's my primary now, and I don't really use the VMP much anymore. So yeah, this video is going to be about how you can make your AR get a lot better than you thought it could be. Okay, so tip number one is something that worked insanely well for me. I used to play on either 5.6 or 5.5, sometimes 6.6, but not really there. And so I was watching, again, I mentioned Optic Formal in one of the videos that I did earlier. I changed my sensitivity down to a 4.4 and made it a lot slower, and it was night and day. Like, the first game that I changed it down to 4.4, I felt like my shot got insanely better. This is because, of course, you're going to be shooting people from a lot farther away, so you need to be a lot more accurate. And so those little twitch movements with your right finger, if it's on a higher sensitivity turning left to right, it's going to be a lot harder to make those small adjustments that you're going to need. So for this, I would suggest a 4.4 or a 4.5 if you're going to be just a primary AR. You can try 5.5 if that feels better for you, then just do that. But I would suggest changing your sensitivity to something a little bit lower. Definitely not 3 because you're not going to be able to keep up with people. So anything in the 4 to 5 range. Nothing higher, nothing lower. Okay, tip number 2 is you're going to really have to focus. While you're practicing, you're going to have to focus on your style of play. Because I know for me, being an SMG for the entire time, I'd be a main slayer. I'd try to push in a lot harder than I should have. And when you have an AR like an M8, mostly the M8, the Man of War can be a little bit better. But when you have one of those ARs, you can't push into those small spaces or anything because you're just going to get outgunned every time. Because if you missed one burst, one shot, then you're literally probably not going to have a chance, depending on how good the other people are. So you're going to have to really think about it, because then when you go into the really small spots, you're going to have to think, oh, I need to switch to my secondary so you can have the better gun for the situation, if that makes sense. So yeah, you're really going to have to think a lot more, mostly while you're practicing. It'll come over time, or at least that's how it's did to me. Over time, it'll get a lot more natural to just, you'll naturally do it in the split second. But you're going to have to think, okay, I'm getting into this small spot. I'm going to need to switch to my secondary. Okay, tip 3 is a thing called centering. You'll hear it a lot out of the sniping community, because what it is when before you start shooting or aiming, you'll try to put the dude right in the middle of your sights. Well, not really your sight because you're not going to be aiming yet, but the middle of your crosshairs. So once he's in the middle of your crosshairs, all you have to do is hit LT, he'll already be right in the middle of your sight. So what I did was, I focused a lot harder than normal, like when I'd use a SMG. Whenever you're turning a corner or you're getting ready to go look at something, focus on putting the very center of your screen right where that thing is. And so you're not going to turn the corner not looking at them, then you're going to have to snap onto the person. Instead, you're just going to be aiming straight at them every time. So especially with the M8, if you do it right, you'll get a 1 burst every time. I almost guarantee it. Like, if you turn a corner, no matter how close they are, if you're, the middle of your screen is facing right towards the middle and all you have to do is hit LT and RT, then it's going to be a 1 burst. I almost guarantee it. Now, of course, you're not going to be 1 bursting people across the map all the time when you're doing this, but I guarantee you that if you really focus on putting them right in the middle of your screen every time that you think they might be there, then it's going to work a lot better than if you just try to snap onto them. Okay, and the final thing that is the most important by far is you have to practice. You're not just going to get magically better overnight. You're going to have to put in those hours if you actually want to get better at the game. You'll hear it from literally everybody, from the pros, from not the pros. If you want to get better, you have to practice, and that's just how it is. In Black Ops 3 alone, I have played for 37 days, 8 hours, and 36 minutes, which is absolutely insane, and it kind of makes me feel bad about myself. But if you really want to get good at what you're doing, and you want to be able to be a dominant AR and just lock down spots of the map and be able to snap in one burst everybody, you have to practice. You have to practice with the AR that you want to use, and I mean, even just switch up, go back to M8 and Man of War. But you have to practice no matter what you're doing, because you can't get better at something just magically. It's a whole lot different from using a sub, because a sub, there's a lot more room for error, I think. So you really have to just focus, bunker down, and think about what you're doing, and practice. Okay guys, that's the video. I hope you learned something. I almost promise you that if you do these things, you'll be a lot better just starting off the rip, and it'll be a lot easier to get better. I hope you enjoyed. If there's anything that I can do better in the video, I'm open to constructive criticism. Help me out and help me grow, okay? So if you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe for a lot more like this, and have a great day, guys. Thank you.